before the pure pursuit of the light side of the Force. Before the Order of the Jedi, there was another collection of Force wielders known as the Jedi. The Jedi Order was a collection of the galaxy's most in-tuned individuals, being highly intelligent and highly spiritual. The Jedi believed in balance, that there was a light and dark, and the two needed to be accepted together. The Jedi called what would later be referred to as the light side as Ashla, and the dark, which they called Bogan. The Jedi lived and operated out of the planet of Tython, where they were removed from the rest of the galaxy, only focusing on themselves and their relationship to the Force. Above the planet of Tython, there were two satellites, one where light never reached and was thus always clouded by darkness, and one where the light never left. If a member of the Jedi fell too close to Ashla or Bogan, they would be sent to one of the satellites, representative of their current state, until they again found balance between the light and dark. On Tython, the Jedi had 9 temples and 9 masters, with one master presiding over each temple. Each member of the Order was to venture to each temple, where they would discover more of the mysteries of the Force. The Jedi were not at all focused on the affairs of the galaxy, nor did they wish to be, only focusing on themselves and their connection to the Force. However, one fateful day, servants of the dark side and the evil Rakata Empire crashed on the planet of Tython, causing the Jedi to slowly break apart, either choosing to follow Ashla or Bogan. Though peaceful at first, the two sides began coming into conflict with one another until a planet-wide war broke out between the servants of the light and dark. Many Jedi fully embraced the darkness, wishing to become as powerful as possible, while others became protectors and servants, falling under the guise of the light. For years, war would rage between the two factions. The servants of the light then wished to fully abandon the ways of the past and claim the title of Jedi Knights, whose purpose was to preserve the galaxy. These Jedi formed a council, and over many years they fought back the Dark Jedi. Eventually, many of the fallen Dark Jedi would either die or flee Tython into the unknown territories, where they would find an evil unseen by them before. The Jedi, now successfully defeating the darkness, chose to depart Tython. However, before doing so, they chose to gather as many texts as possible, as they felt their fallen brothers and sisters may one day return, and they would need to be aware of them for the sake of their future members. The Jedi then left the planet of Tython, venturing to the edge of the known galaxy, where they would find another planet they would name Ossus. On Ossus, the Jedi flourished, helping any who needed it and studying the light side of the Force, while preaching about the dangers and destructive nature of the dark. The Jedi also welcomed others with similar views and philosophies into their order, where they would adopt certain aspects of other cultures. During this time, the Jedi kept a watchful eye on the newly formed Republic, who the Jedi would occasionally aid but refused to become a permanent member of. Eventually, however, the Jedi did decide to become a part of the Republic, still operating out of Ossus but becoming its primary protectors. Sadly, though, again through the Order, the dark side would stir, and a group of Jedi would break off, seemingly peacefully, to begin a new order that practiced the light as well as the dark, similar to the original Jedi Order. However, the Jedi and this new group, known as Dark Jedi, would begin a war, and brother and sister would again fight against one another. The Dark Jedi would attempt to appeal to the Republic, telling them the Jedi were in fact selfish beings who had created an illusion of peacekeepers. However, the Republic saw through these lies and began supporting the Jedi Order, eventually helping them destroy the Dark Jedi. This event caused both the Republic and Jedi to see they needed each other, and the Jedi fully devoted themselves to the Republic. After many years of working together effectively, the Republic fell under the reign of an evil Supreme Chancellor who committed genocide over certain species he deemed lesser. Because of this, the Jedi again broke off from the Republic, and through much debate raised arms against them to finally end the tyranny. After successfully winning the war, the Jedi again joined the Republic. Unfortunately, though, for a third time within the Jedi Order, the dark side would grab hold, and this time more substantial and damaging than ever before. Some members of the Order would become aware of dark side alchemy and use it to transform individuals into horrible monsters. The Jedi again were forced to fight their brothers and sisters, this time over an extremely long period, which would be known as the 100-Year Darkness. During this conflict, the Jedi had also successfully constructed a new, powerful weapon known as a lightsaber, which they began using in their battles with the Dark Jedi. After winning the destructive conflict, the Jedi would banish the Dark Jedi to unknown space, holding too much remorse to execute them, but knowing full well they could never forgive them for the horrors they committed. Once in the unknown regions, these Dark Jedi would find something the Jedi Order did not expect, and eventually they would return far more powerful and dangerous than the Jedi could possibly imagine, giving birth to a new order that would plague the galaxy and Jedi for thousands of years to follow. So that is the story of Before the Pure